Allowed the judges
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary police.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Sídé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun diary number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary number one.
Thank you so much for joining me as usual. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them Maiyegun is back.
Maiyegun diary politico. Maiyegun diary number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun diary number one.
Yeah. Read the caption of this broadcast. Yes, read the description as well. Drop your offering, which is like the broadcast as much as you can. Remember, right? Then you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this amazing session again on Nigeria politics as the headline. So if you read the caption of this broadcast, where I kind of give it a rider of unbelievable, there are judges in northern Nigeria, as it's been discovered. They are judges, but they never passed through the law school. They were not, they are actually not lawyers. to now cover them up. In Nassarawa State, for example, they are now working on the amendment of the law that actually bagged the appointment or the qualification of somebody to be a judge. Baba, judges who never actually read law have been judges in Nigerian courts in northern Nigeria. Remember? That is not all. We're going to go back to Rivers State, because I did ask you that if you can find any video where Kolu explained how he was going to fight corruption, I will give you ₦1,000,000. Nobody could pull that off. But today, the second day of Tifnumbu's visit to Rivers State, it is trending right now. Kolu is going to fight corruption the same way Werewike is fighting corruption. And just for the optical, Werewike is going to be declared wanted, meant to be declared wanted for a missing 420 billion naira Rivers State money. The person, Fubara, that is now the governor-elect of Rivers State, right, happened to be, well, the former accountant general of Rivers State for 3 years now. Yeah, it was declared wanted by the EFCC because of 420 billion naira Rivers State money that the state cannot account for. You know, Wike has immunity. So normal is supposed to be on the run. Okay? But there is something about Rivers State governors, which I'm also going to touch tonight. Okay? First, it was Peter Odili. Towards the end of his term, he wanted to be president. Obasanjo changed everybody, brought in Yaradua. Remember that story? Then Rotifmi Amechi, right? This time around, he wasn't interested in being president. He was told he could be chosen as the vice president. And towards the end of his own second term as well, you know the story. But he was compensated. While Werewike became governor, and they launched an investigation into Rotifmi Amechi, in their own white paper, Rivers State government white paper, Rotifmi Amechi and his government was indicted of stealing over 100 billion naira Rivers State money. But a lot of people could tell where that money went. APC, Egbekegbe. Among the states, they were funding APC at the time. But rather than for Rotifmi Amechi, right, to face prosecution for his crime, immediately he had no immunity. APC gained power. He was made a minister. And in fact, he got another immunity. This time around, immunity from investigation, prosecution, just free pass. But everybody knows how the Rotifmi Amechi's political life is going on right now with APC. So Kolu, the new guy on the block, where they are now building power around, somebody who can give life or death. See, this is not blasphemy, okay? Nigeria president, anybody who become Nigeria president is considered the most powerful man on earth. You see, let me explain that. In America, American president, Chinese president, which other, Russian president, they are considered as very powerful, even at what stage? Sure, you know. But American president in America, does not even have power that somebody who is a local government chairman in Nigeria that will commit crime against their law and nothing will happen. American president will never dare in America. Russian president will not dare what Nigerian politicians will get away with when they are just mere political appointees, not to talk of the president in Russia. Like the president of Nigeria will get away with anything. He can order your arrest. They can lock you up even if the law says no. Even when the court says they should free you. The president of Nigeria is like above the law. So the new guy on the block, Tifnumbu, that want to fight corruption, is now the friend of Werewike, the River State governor. Like his own predecessors, is now hiding and hibernating under the the benevolent of Tifnumbu, pari passu, or corruption. Tifnumbu said, to fight corruption in Wike's way is to build houses for judges, make them comfortable so that they won't take bribes and kind of compromise justice. So people's interpretation to that is, in Tifnumbu's words, power is not served a la carte, meaning you have to grab it, snatch it, and run with it. If they shout ole ole, tell them to go to court. So look at that concept. Use corruption to gain power, and then make the judges comfortable. Corruption is gone then. Anyway, that's part of the theories out there. There are other things as well that comes with this broadcast tonight. And the Nigerians trapped in Sudan and Egypt. 376 of them have successfully arrived in Nigeria. Well, that's some good news. Let's forget about all other stories around it, because the moment those ones landed in Nigeria, the process that got their delay stuff in Egypt was finally settled. Nigeria paid for the visa, transit visa, for those Nigerians escaping from Sudan. Nigeria, I don't know how much, they didn't say, but they had to pay for their visa in Egypt before they could be allowed to be lifted. And when these 376 successfully evacuated Nigerians got to Abuja, from the news, so I haven't really seen their interview to see or the proof, but let's follow the news. According to their news, immediately they got to Abuja, Nigeria government gave every one of them 100,000 naira cash. Yes, you can multiply that by 376. Not just that. From what we read, they said they also gave each person 25,000 naira worth of data so that they can connect to the internet and they can reach out to their family members from far and near that they are now in Abuja. And if they need to sleep overnight in an hotel, they could use some of that money for the night, which was yesterday. So, and then some other stuff they said they gave to them that I can't really because I didn't really verify them, but they have been mentioned. But the most important thing is that 376 Nigerians have been successfully brought back to Nigeria. Is that not a good news? Okay, let's come back to the real deal, and that is judges in Nigerian courts, lower courts. In northern Nigeria, they have no law certificate. So the question now is, how many like that have been practicing in Nigeria system? They have been promoted. Some of them have become justices of the High Court in Nigeria. Usually, from my own social study, elementary study, social study, primary school subjects, now only customary courts usually doesn't really need somebody with a law school certificate that says they are lawyers. To be a judge, according to Nigerian law, you must be a lawyer. And to be a lawyer, you must pass the law school examination, the one that will certify you as a professional lawyer. And then you can practice law in any part of Nigeria. You can appear before judges, justices in any court in Nigeria, up to Supreme Court. Doesn't matter. If you pass your law school, law exam today, and you get your certificate issued, the next day, you can take on a client. They call it, you can take up a client the third day. Yes, you can, because you're already a lawyer then. They may call you baby lawyer, new lawyer. No, you are a lawyer. But usually for experience and all that, they will tell you to go and do some internship. No be so? So when you become that lawyer, after 4 years, you can then go and sit for the Judicial Council examination that you want to be a judge. So if you pass that, then you have a certificate that says you are now a judge. Then you can be sent to any court that they think your service is needed. So how many judges do you have in Nigerian system who forged their certificates, but because of their political connections, right, they have now become so grounded, established in the entire system? In Nassarawa State, it became so worrisome for some of their lawmakers, politicians, that they had to start a debate on it. That it is so bad that if they have to follow the law, they would have to sack more than 98% judges in Nassarawa State alone. At the lower courts, lower courts, which is a high court in their states. If they should follow their law, 98% of their judges, they don't even be. Some of them didn't pass examination as lawyers, and they were never lawyers. Majority of them didn't even read law at all. And lawyers have been going before them. No wonder you'll be hearing ridiculous judgments. And when you read the news, man has, goat arrest. They arrested goat for stealing. The judge said they should put the goat in remand. Zamfara judge has remanded a goat that was accused of robbery. Do you understand that? Headlines like that will be coming from everywhere. You'll be like, what's in they go on now? What's going on? So how many are they? If Zamfara alone have more than 90% of uneducated, no legal background, no law background, no nothing, and they have been giving judgments. It's a question, I'm not asking you to bite me. You go still bite me, okay? Because I know a lot of you, not a lot. Some of you are the Lagos Abobakus watching this right now, right? To you, this guy is always complaining. Why are you always said? Think about that. Because you may be the one that will be in front of another judge that politically, Their connection and everything is towards those who have managed to help them bury their what? Their secrets. So their politicians now, their lawmakers in Zamfara, they are now trying to change the law so that they can give all those judges, they can give them 10 years grace to go back to school, to go and study law, to go and pass the law school examination, and to go and sit for the judge examination or something. So if they pass all of that, they have 10 years. So they have to try and make it as law. It is that bad. Nigeria have 19 states. Northern Nigeria, including the middle belt part of Nigeria, have 19 states. The Sharia North have 12 states. So when Buhari came to power, APC, Buhari said he was fighting corruption, right? So there is this guy. His name is Maman Daura. No, sorry, not Daura. Lawal Daura, rather. Lawal Daura. He was the person that Buhari appointed as DSS director when they took over power in 2015. Okay? So then Buhari became sick. Very sick. Okay? So he was in London. Then Pastor Ruga, that is the vice president, Pastor Ruga now took over as acting president. Then the Chief Justice of Nigeria's time for retirement reached. Buhari was on the hospital bed, right, as a guinea pig where they are like experimenting on that time. So Pastor Ruga now appointed Onogen, a southerner, as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, acting. That didn't go down well with them in northern Nigeria, especially the CPC Buhari caucus inside the APC. Pastor Ruga also, before then, after Pastor Ruga appointed Onogen, they have finalized whatever coup or whatever it was they were going to do to Onogen. It was never going to last as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. So what were they going to do? Okay, you, Daura, even though Buhari no day, we have some information, okay, to say on the judges in Nigeria. They are very corrupt. We have some of their account details. We have some of their shady deals. And these particular judges and all that, we want you to arrest them. So in the middle of the night, that Lawal Daura, DSS director, ordered the DSS, his own boys, right, who covered their faces in hood and all that, like face mask, and they invaded the judges' quarters in Abuja, where Nigerian Supreme Court justices lives. Here you get, and they arrested them in the middle of the night. Supreme Court justices, why would you do this? Immediately, their propaganda machine went to town, and they started telling people that Buhari is here to fight corruption. These judges, they are very corrupt. If Buhari is saying this, they are very corrupt. Remember, Buhari was not there. Malamu was behind all of that at the time. So Pastor Ruga, as acting president, wanted to kind of feel like, how could that happen? To show to people that this is unbelievable. Omo, my lord. Now detention then sleep that night, no joke. They arrested all of them in their pajamas and they took them to the DSS detention, the Secret Service. They took them to their detention. Judges, they were writing statements. So the following morning, breaking news, voila, here and there, Pastor Ruga just sacked Daura. Here you get, sacked Daura straight up. Appointed, who be that guy? She na Ekwen Younger, be waiting be the guy he appointed that time as acting. Omo, the Kaba in Buhari's government, they were shocked. Like, who did Pastor Ruga consulted before sacking DSS director? Well, anyway, that was the end of the DSS, but the coup continued. So around that time, Onogen started acting as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. So Buhari was going to go for second term. And they knew that the whole thing was going to end up in Supreme Court. Onoge, as a Southerner, could be a problem. No, it was going to be a problem. So what were they going to do? The judges are corrupt. Onoge has a bank account somewhere in abroad. How could the Chief Justice of Nigeria have a bank account abroad? He is corrupt. Boom. They just petitioned the Code of Conduct Tribunal, led by another Northerner. So when that one got that Code of Conduct Tribunal, summoning the Chief Justice of Nigeria. So when they wanted to put him in the dock, behind the scene, they were asking him to resign, or else you are going to go to jail. Look at the money they said they found. Look at this and that. But people didn't know then that it wasn't actually about whether he stole money or not, or he put money abroad, he has a bank account. No. It was all about 2019. So that was when when they removed him, that was what brought in Tanko Tekinikality, a Sharia Court judge. Sharia Court judge, suddenly got promoted from the Sharia North as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. That was when Tanko Ibrahim became Chief Justice. It was like a joke. We were calling him Babalawo. If you look at him, he looks like all these ancient Babalawos, who have become like blind, but they can see, they see vision, all those like ancient. So it became a joke on social media like Buhari. Anyway, 2019 came. INEC in Nigeria said they were ready to conduct the best election, just like the one you did now. A lot of people were hopeful. Anyway, Atiku and Obi, they became a team because INEC told them that with the biometric fingerprinting, blah, 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 blah nonsense, you cannot rig the election. With the Kinikon, there will be no child voting. There will be no nonsense as usual. In fact, we are going to build a big, gigantic server that will keep all of the results. Nobody can rig and touch it. They shall sow the zobo. It didn't last long. The whole thing, they declared Buhari winner. And as expected, everything ended in Supreme Court, where the promoted Tanko Tekinikality was waiting. That was the origin of Tekinikality. Where it came from was that INEC, PDP, they were building their case on the fact that all the results, the INEC server. May INEC just bring the server so that they can bring the result and show it to the court that Buhari didn't win second term. That was the story of server. Do you know how much they said they built the Amazon server to keep Nigeria election results in 2019? 45 billion naira. 45 billion naira. Server, cloud server, where you go pay how much? Where you go pay 81. Okay, I think depend on the size. 1 terabyte size in the cloud. How much is 1 terabyte size of a cloud? If you want to say something in the cloud. Anyway, you shall call it Amazon server, Nigerian server. When they got to the Supreme Court and they presented all the evidence, how Buhari rigged, how INEC failed, how the double voting, triple voting, and all that, everything, shall like all of you have them right now. You have evidence, Abi, where you could take to court, Abi. Don't worry, we'll get to your part. In 2019, they had all the evidence. They were relying on technology. Technology would solve everything. This was 4 years ago. So when they got to the Supreme Court, after everybody spoke, said their own defense, front and back, everything, Tanko Tekinikality now came and said, on the technical ground, because of the technicality problem in Atiku's petition, the technicality problem where Atiku could not prove evidence, then get evidence like this. I mean, Atiku could not prove that Buhari didn't win. But by evidence, see evidence. Say, no, your evidence, we cannot use your evidence. Because technically, INEC no even get server. All this your evidence. You want us to compare them with what INEC put on their server, Abi? INEC say they no get server. Say you are lying. They didn't promise anybody any server. There is no server anywhere. Say the election are just normal. They don't count the ballot. They don't declare winner. Say go be me, everybody go wait for next time. So technically, they cannot say Buhari didn't win. Technically, Atiku cannot prove that INEC rigged the election. And because of technicality, Buhari is hereby declared, returned, and elected president of Nigeria. Now, so then renew him to from change. He just jumped to next devil. So, corruption is all about go out there, rig the election. Once they start putting people as panel judges, tribunal judges, you don't know their story. Also, so where we go, and you are standing in front of them. My lord, sorry, my lord, I am not guilty, my lord. Here is the evidence, my lord. And then my lord will turn around and say, with the evidence before me and the power conferred on me as the justice of this court, I hereby sent you to a Wongbiri. And you go come stand there. I am the one who brought case. Sir, na me be the petition. Na me bring case. Na me they send go a Wongbiri. Say because in your case, that case where you bring, in that case, technically, you have indicted yourself. Of course, you cannot prove that that person did what you say he did. And it could be you. Miscarriage of justice in Nigeria is very common. Nobody say they know they do miscarriage of justice anywhere else. So. But you know, if they do your miscarriage of justice, in any part of, like, for example, in America, so look at this man. He was convicted of a crime that he didn't commit because there were no much evidence. 30 years ago. Americans, you know, they like to elaborate. 30 years ago. Can you believe that? He was convicted. He didn't do it. Everybody will be like, and he would just be like, I don't know. I was live. How did you know? Before you know it, your TV stations, everybody don't they come. How then go help him? Organizations don't they come? I say, sorry, 30 years. Sorry, bro, sorry, 18 years, and all of that. Somehow, well, maybe that's just what they wanted us to see. Miscarriage of justice, right? There are people who are always like, but in Nigeria, the miscarriage of justice is so regular that they will say people are on trial, awaiting trial. They say this man, he stole a can of juice. And because he stole a can of juice, he's been in jail for 21 years awaiting trial. Because the judge will sit down and go jail. Sure you get? Maybe the guy himself no go and have any law or degree or anything at all, like all these ones. And because you are there, your paper self don't miss. There's no documentation or anything. And there are many in Nigerian prison. Seriously. Straight factor, life factor. So it could be you. It could be anybody that's going to run into them when you have. And if you find out, they say 21 years after this, so you will come see people, they will come bring you one, what do you call it? Maybe some new slippers. New slippers. They will, I mean, if you are that kind of lucky, because in most cases, they will just say free at last. You go, banner like this, say free at last. Please help Sikiru. He's been in jail for wandering. He's been in jail for 15 years just because he was, they raided him and all of that. And afterward, you're on your own. So that is when you understand that miscarriage of justice is not something you laugh out. I mean, you laugh at and say, ha, it's so funny. No, it's not funny. Now, imagine how many of them are there in that Nigerian judicial system, if Nassarawa state alone. So Escobat is now going to fight that kind of corruption by building houses for the judges. That's where we're going to go next. We'll go to Rivers State, where today, day 2, where Kolu said people, he is going to emulate with a weakest way of fighting corruption and so many other things he said. But it's also been it's kind of like after that video, a lot of people who have seen that video, Tiff Numbu's speech in Rivers State, they are now saying, I want to see Tinubu that is now speaking so clearly. Look at I should have supported this man long time ago. See Tinubu, oh, no wonder. All those bulaba, all those you cannot make a deposit for roasted corn, all those things, they were just doctored video. I say, now your mumu now you ain't too much. You be mumu. Where's that thing? Where's that guy? You know what I mean? Now your mumu now you ain't too much. Because that's exactly what the agenda is going to look like Buhari in 2015. To the point that you're like, oh, body language, that later turned to body odor and the rest, Abi. Anyway, enjoy the ride. But for our own context, okay, for this conversation, let's go to Rivers State, where Kolu, according to their what have you, could probably have been pretending that he's unwell, he's deluded, and they say, what have you? Well, I think you should listen to the words. Okay, not the extra influencers that will likely call it blue, black, white. They will call it red, and they will make you look dumb, even when you can hear with your 2 ears. So yeah, there's been a difference. Listen.
My colleague and former governor of Rivers State, Sir Odile and his wife. I'm grateful for your commitment to time, value, and all reforms that you are about to embark upon in the country. I take a different angle to what we has done here today. Is fighting corruption. This is the way to fight corruption. You don't expect your judges. I have been contributing very well to this. You don't expect your judges to live in squalor, to operate in squalor, to defend justice in squalor. This is part of the changes that is necessary in our policy think tank. We must fight corruption, and we definitely must look at the other side of the coin. If you don't want your judges to be corrupt, you got to pay attention to their welfare. If you want fair dispensation of justice, you don't want them to operate on hazardous conditions. Let's think value for value.
No, my brain dey hit the leg.
If I don't have consumer credit and you want me to pay for the car I needed at once, 5 million, 6 million, driving temptation, corruption. But if you have consumer credit, then people will reduce, that will reduce the propensity for corruption. We don't want our judges to play foul, to compromise justice. Not just the books, but do something. And I promise you, we are going to review all of this in a policy think tank. Today, I'm concluding a 2-day and the final leg of a visit to Rivers State. I was proud to deliver the 12th historic and iconic flyovers yesterday. Whatever you say about going or no going, I am personally grateful to the man who brought me here. He didn't ask for a personal commitment. He asked for a policy commitment, which an incoming president has no authority to offer and approve.
So let me ask you this, because there is another part of it I'm still going to play. So he spoke clearly, some said, Abi, but let us be honest. Be honest with yourself. This is no longer like, even if you don't like him, fine, it's all right, even if you like him. But did you hear anything really motivational, presidential, or anything at all from what he said that 6 minutes video? Did you hear anything like a stretch of conversation for like maybe a minute or two or more? You need to see the joy of Lagos Abobakus. See you, I must see intelligence. I must see sense. He said, waiting talk. Which nonsense in talk? We know that you don't, come on, we just heard him now, didn't we? I've listened to the video before I make the cut and all that, so that you can actually have them, not because it's like a long stretch. Or is there any really thing you heard there? For a country like Nigeria, you know, I said it last time too. I said, you would probably want something. He can't do anything. He can't order anything. He's still he's not the president. Okay. But nevertheless, what they are building, the psycho fancy and all of that they built around Buhari. So they're already building similar thing around him. But nevertheless, did you hear anything really, anything sensible at all? Something that you can say, oh, that was good. If you go everywhere on social media now, I listened to Ashiwaju for 30 minutes. And he was standing there, very healthy, very confident. And he speak very, very slowly so that you can hear. Waiting talk. Waiting talk. To fight corruption, you need to make your workers comfortable. Of course, you need to. But judges, you need to build them houses. You need to make them this and that. Is that not what the politicians in Nigeria are doing? I mean, you don't see any Nigerian judge, where they hustle for petrol like you. You don't go anywhere where you see Chief Justice of Lagos State. Where they hop on Okada like you. Or you don't enter, let's get serious, please. Don't you see every now and then new cars for judges? But yesterday, the state government is buying new Prado Jeep. Each one 50 million. And all of those ways they kind of steal money. So now today you see them buy them this, buy them that, building judges' quarters. Corruption still no day. Come on. Anyway, then he said, when a judge need a car, so that judge will not go and collect bribe to give a bad judgment. So if a judge need a car, and the car is some millions of naira, and the judge doesn't have to use that amount of money, that judge can take credit. Baba, calm down now. She sense you are no yensin. Oh, get real now. Where they are changing the judges' cars as official, they call them official cars. Politicians are buying them for clout, for show off. And you are seeing all of them laughing from different states in Nigeria. But according to Kolu, which is what Wike did, he built judges' quarters, fancy, lovely place, so that judges will not be corrupt to go and collect bribes, so that they can go and build their own mansion. But you know something, the politicians, the judges or the lawyers in Nigeria, you get, they are like armed robbers. And then somebody will be the wholesale merchant for for the stolen goods. You know, somebody will say armed robber go steal. Armed robbers may not be able to actually sell off what they stole. So a middleman who is a merchant will begin to actually expend them for them. That's exactly what the lawyers and the politicians in Nigeria. So if you can't see through all of that, it is like a syndicate. Well, it's up to you. But that's how they're going to fight corruption. So if a judge needs a 10 million naira car, that judge can go and take credit. Sure you get. And then they can start paying like we do in the diaspora. So then they will fight corruption. Okay, maybe Nami no listen very well. Because this will be the second time he's indirectly telling Wike, a lot of your expectation from me, they are not going to go that way. Sure you get. So I just want to make you know, say, yes, I am the president select. But the way you are doing all this kurukere, well, that's my own way I see it. I may not be kind of, you know what I mean? I'm not banking on it. Yesterday, where the Wike was reading Umu Guru Guru flyover 1, Umu Guru flyover 2, Guguru flyover 3, Agbado flyover 4, Kiniko flyover 5, and Kolu said, thank you. But I cannot promise you anything. I don't owe you anything. So if there are bridges you constructed there for your people, but if you bring them up, you need to come and lobby me. You need to, then we can see what we can do. So I'm not promising you anything. Publicly, make everybody the hear now. That was yesterday. Where the Wike was laughing. And they are praising him. They say Where the Wike is going to be the new leader of Niger Delta. He's going to be the Kiniko. They are praising him. Just same way they were praising Rotifmi Amechi in 2015. Amechi is very smart. Amechi is going to be the minister of Kiniko. Amechi is last. Amechi, lick Buhari's asses. Buhari's ass. Sote, he go build helipad for Buhari in Daura. So that Buhari can be landing on an helipad built by Nigeria for Buhari's use, private use in Daura. He went as much as a building University of Transportation for Buhari in Daura, and he came second in their presidential. Do you know that it was Amechi that came second after Tifnumbu? How many of you even remember that anymore? So many of you still remember Pastor Ruga, Abi? Pastor Ruga came third in that their APC Congress or so. So he was here laughing. That was yesterday. Today, he decided to tell him again, listen, all your requests and all of that, I am just president-elect. So I cannot do anything. Sure, you get. I am not making any. And I'm glad that you didn't ask for anything. You didn't ask for any commitment. That's what he said to you, Abi. Maybe now my ears they pay me. So we will go to that of yesterday when Kolu landed. It's a flashback for it from yesterday. Then we'll come back to the other part of this. It's a speech in the day 2. This one at the middle.
We welcome you to Rivers State. You're welcome indeed. We are happy to receive you. You are our president. You are welcome, sir.
The president-elect is visiting officially after the overwhelming victory in the February 25th presidential election. Your Excellency, sir, you are a rare gem and a blessing to Rivers State. You are finishing well as the most outstanding best governor in infrastructure development, an authority in good governance, and the voice of the voiceless in Nigeria.
Your Excellency, the President-elect, let me, on behalf of the government and people of Rivers State, most sincerely thank you, appreciate you for honoring our invitation. Let me tell you the flyovers. 1. Ormo Krusi and Limbu flyover. Number what? 1. Urumoba flyover. Number what? 2. Urumola flyover. Number what? 3. GRA flyover. Number what? 4. Urumokalabo flyover. Number what? 5. Rabisi flyover. Number what? 6. Ogunaba flyover. Number what? Mbolu Oro flyover number what? 8. Ruma Picom flyover number what? 9. Rubo Koro, Rubo Tama flyover number what? 9. Mboba flyover number what? 11. Rubo Kuta, Rubo Ona flyover number what? Your Excellency, the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by the grace of God, the President of Nigeria, May 29, 2023.
Ism, I say thank you for your contribution to my victory. I couldn't have done it without some structural support. In His Excellency, I see a man of principle. He took a principled stand that the presidency must return to South. And he has the courage to stand by his convictions. I am a very happy man. Happy because I went through a gruesome campaign, fought hard, beat myself, supported by many of you, and I won. Fair and square. Governor of Rivers State.
Were Wike, that was yesterday. Then, continued from today, I think we should listen to the other part of the convo before we go to the next thing. So, this is where the wiki in its element. Baba, a lot of the people are actually waiting for what to go up when Tifnumbu, if Tifnumbu should give with a wiki Tambua treatment. See, aye, chai. We can go run out of Nigeria. I'm not kidding, oh. So Tifnumbu has to give him something worth it. That is worth it. Or else, with a wiki, you no go see him again. You can bank on that. So Kalu, please continue.
Has no authority to offer and approve. There can only be one president at a time. I cannot commit to expenditure on behalf of outgoing president when my tenure has not started. Get educated. Be informed. Yes. I really thank you for being my friend. I fulfilled the promise that I made to the people of Rivers State. And that's what I intend to do in all policy formations coming up. Promise Nigeria the unity of this country is not negotiable. That's what is wicked. And I am promoting jointly. I promise I'll be fair to all. To the magistrates, I say congratulations. This edifice from outside is so beautiful and gorgeous. Yes, you have new places, but the governor challenged the conscience of all of us. We have to change our culture of maintenance. That's a local issue, universally accepted. But we fight poverty, and we must fight it rigorously. Poverty of thinking, poverty of standard, poverty of reasoning. Like the version they gave in my story yesterday. Not poverty of thinking. I don't want to quarrel with everybody or with people before I even assume office. But I speak my mind always. We are on the same platform. We must tolerate one another, live together. To the magistrates, it's left in your hand. To the judiciary, it's left in your hand. May God give you the will and the commitment to dispensation of justice for our society. The reform is on the way, and there will be hope that we will collaborate with me. I promise you my commitment to fulfill all political promises. I want to thank you very, very much. I enjoyed my visit. I thank the people of Rivers.
So that was how that went. So Kolu is saying that he doesn't want to fight anybody now until he assumes office. They laughed. He said he has enjoyed his stay and they laughed. That's the few things I can remember from what he said. Because, what? Do you hear something else inspiring? Something I missed? Other than to say, yeah, you know, you've all done well. I won. He had to keep reminding himself that he won. And the judiciary should not bow to any pressure. Okay? They should be on his side because he's going to be on their side. He's going to take care of them. It's been very good to the judiciary. And in this sense, we're talking about the judges and all that. In Lagos State, now choice landed properties, then they give them. So you get now. So they have to deliver. So that's how they're going to fight corruption. Anyway, fighting corruption or not, one of the hypocritical things in Nigeria is that you can condemn anything in Nigeria that is wrong, but you have to belong to the right kind of people that can say things like that. For example, you can't just say the northern Nigeria is poor without, for some reason, offending some snowflakes. And they are not just like, you know, it is deliberate. You know what I mean? Like intentional sort of, you know, there's a word for it anyway, but if I found it, fine. If I don't, I'll find something else to use. But it's deliberate, hypocrisy, kind of. The northern Nigeria is poor. All the data shows that the northern Nigeria is poor, raking in poverty. And if you dare say that without them having to be those who are saying it right, then you can be considered as an enemy. Here you get. And they can easily tell you, do you know how many billionaires that are from the north? Do you really know how many, the richest black man, the richest man in Africa is from the northern Nigeria. The Kenikon is from the Kenikon Loriro. But the truth of the matter is that the northern Nigeria is actually the part of Nigeria that helped put Nigeria on that map of the poverty capital of the world. So they call it, listen to this. Crony capitalism is the right word. Crony is like proxy. Crony is replicating yourself, but without having to put yourself there, like replicating yourself that way. So capitalism generally is when you know that your government, your economy, and the rest of that are being run by greedy billionaires, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. No, hang on. Capitalism in America is considered as those money bags, billionaires that are not paying their fair share of their wealth like everyone else. The people that will say the capitalists, they want to own everything. They own everything, they own this and that. in Nigeria, you have billionaires. Now, there are billionaires, right? That there are like categories of billionaires. There are some of them that are just proxies, cronies for the criminals in government, right? So their job is they put up a bogus enterprise that is making more money than its entire worth. Like if you put the whole business together, the entire worth is not nothing, but the turnover of money that is coming out of that business. And when you ask, how are you making this so much money? They have somehow, they are government contractors now. So they are like, so the greed there is this. Politicians will steal your money through bogus contracts, give them to their friends that set up bogus companies, okay? So that money is not coming into the economy. They don't pay tax on them. Do you get that now? So in the process, the money kind of ended up leaving Nigeria. So they called it crony capitalism. They pretended to be running things. They run, they create scarcity intentionally. They stifle the economy. They deal in insider trading in your stock and all of that, because it's like that. But the money is not actually to help Nigeria, help the economy, like you reinvest it. Then government says, oh, you made so much money, we're going to take a tax from that. We're going to reinvest it, because the money is not meant to be taxed. The money is just a farce. Sort of the whole company, it's just a farce. So Dangote is known as somebody, we call him quota system billionaires, by the way. Somebody who is a product of a quota system where corrupt criminals, generals, and the rest of them in Nigeria have been able to channel their money into in the name of investment, to the point that every competition that could have actually helped Nigeria have been killed for him. So at the end of the day, right, he is so kind of big when it comes to the Nigeria economy, with the amount of influence he wield economically. The Central Bank of Nigeria is like his own wallet, where if he needs any money anywhere, Central Bank of Nigeria will stand as a guarantor for Dangote. Nigeria can build refinery, Dangote can. All of these are just like criminals channeling their stolen wealth through something that looks legit. But in the long run, in the long run, it's not actually really benefiting anyone. But their cycle, they become more richer, but you can't see the effects, not even on those who are working for them anyway. So, but I know they call them chronic. Now, chronic, painful capitalism. And wait me, they call them that too. Chronic capitalists. They say no word like that. I say no, it no matter. Chronic capitalists are the people who say, they know, say, after all that thing, the primary intention is to keep you poor. No competition. If you try to challenge any business that Dangote and some other selected northerners like that are interested in, they will have to destroy you and destroy that business. It is just like, it's unwritten, but it is Nigerian thing. So, crony capitalism. So what do they create? They create poverty. That's what crony capitalists, that's what they do. It is a combination, collaboration of the greedy, selfish Nigerian businessmen who are also closet politicians, and in the process, taking government contracts, sabotaging government policies, changing things in a way that cut out competitions that can indeed help. So what do you get at the end of the day? Poverty. So when a northerner start telling you they are rich, they have reached this, reached that, ask them, how come all these out-of-school children with all the billions, how come they are all looking away? How come it's never really kind of peeved them? Like make them feel like Sokoto State, the caliphate, the seat of caliphate in Nigeria. Sokoto is the poverty capital of Nigeria. Can you believe that? Nearly 90% of people living in Sokoto State are poor. Think now, think about some things that some of you can actually throw around, that in the long run, it can't be like say, get sense. Because when you defend something that you can't really kind of explain, and you are so willing to die in defending it, it's either you are stupid or you are stupid. Sure you get. Sokoto State, the seat of caliphate in Nigeria, is the poverty capital of Nigeria. And look at it now. Data don't lie. Taraba State is the second poverty capital of Nigeria. nearly 90% of people in Taraba State are poor. Nearly 90%. So if you are from Taraba and you are lying to yourself, it's not Kiniko. You see the poverty around you. You can't hide them. Jigawa, 87% of people in Jigawa are poor. Hey, and you see all the names, these are from northern Nigeria, Middle Belt, Niger, Gombe, Bauchi, Zamfara, Adamawa, Ebonyi. That's the one I wanted to point out. Ebonyi, where Devulumayi is their governor. The man that spent 36 billion naira to build airports. And he is currently going now with 1.6 billion naira severance package as a governor. So that's what they have approved for him now. So Umayi will collect 1.6 billion. His deputy will collect something around 850 million. And they are doing all the packaging right now. But Ebonyi, the poverty capital of Nigeria, the poverty capital of Eastern Nigeria, Ebonyi State. Remember that, Some people are saying, wait till Ebonyi they find it. Baba, you better tell yourselves the truth. Engineer Devulumayi and his media, his media influencers and the rest of them. What they have been telling people is that they are building roads, they want to build bridges, they are building rail, they are doing this and that, but no investment in human capital development. Can you believe that? No real investment in education, no real investment in advanced education, no real investment in today's real requirement, job requirement education that can keep people up and running, like at par with their mates all over the world. No. The poverty capital of Nigeria, the poverty capital and all of that. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world with over 143 million Nigerians living in not just poverty, multi-dimensional poverty. This is not made up. We are talking about millions of people here. Look at it. Look at that figure. That should worry you if you are from any part of this, okay? And it should be concerning too. And these are the kind of conversation you should be hearing from the people who are coming to save you, but you know go hear them. Hope is here. Hope is coming. I am going to change your life. Meanwhile, let me tell you this, on the lighter mode, Tifnumbu says, let me tell you, I'm going to say this slowly so that you can know that it's not like banters and all that, okay? I heard him. I don't believe him. So Tifnumbu said is going to give you student loans. All of you where they pay 400,000, 300,000. Your mama, papa poor. Don't worry, you go school. Okay? Now, there will be no longer ASU strike. It will give them the money they want. For now, the ASU is asking for about 2.5 trillion naira. Okay? Just to come to close so that they can then negotiate properly how it will be from now on. 2.5 trillion naira. So Tifnumbu said he's going to give them. There will be no longer ASU strike. It will give them, it will improve the policy that, you won't need to rely on government money. The schools will be running on their own. So if you now have to pay school fees, for example, you're going to OOU now, and that is Olabisi Onabanjo University in Agowoye, and your school fees is 250,000 naira. Your mama, your papa no get money. As a student in Nigeria, Tifnumbu said you can approach with your ID card and all that, with your student ID card and all that, yeah? You can approach your school to apply for student loan. So that student loan means you can take the loan for the next 4 years or 5 years to complete your education. By the time you are done, there will be jobs. Don't worry. Tifnumbu is going to give you a job. So there will be jobs. And then when you start working, you can start paying back that loan. Remember that, because this is the diary. Me, I will be reminding you. Sure you get. He also said that those of you that are having problems, for example, starting your business, or you want to buy a house, you don't have so much money, or you are working, or all that, you have access to free money, whereby you can do whatever you want to do business-wise. And if you do well, it is for the betterment of Nigeria. I say, yes, C-sense. I don't talk C-sense, no deal. But there are some certain things that I would like to remind you. I know a lot of you that believe that when criminals rig themselves in, you can move on, because what is now next is to pray for them to do the right thing for you. Sure, you get. I know some of you always have that mind. What if Tifnumbu now come and change and gone? You and your what if? Or because the first step is, what if it's now the best? What if he now change Nigeria? What if he now pay Kinikon? What if? Now so now they start. By the time the shege starts, by the time they collect your beating, left, right, and center, una go begin to change your what if to what about. What about that one? Why don't you talk that time? What about the time Buhari is there? Suddenly, some of you watching me right now, if you see some of you be like, wish. Especially some of you are like APC, Egbekegbe, Olori Brukuni. Sure you get. And some of you as well, because of the shege you have seen under Buhari, Olori Brukule, Because Jeje minimum 1B. Now here I did my Jeje for years now. 8 years ago, they scream. Buhari go deal with all of una. Una go learn. I was one of those who started that. You will learn. In the sense, you go learn. That they abuse me, they attack me, they call me enemy of this, enemy of that. When the shege started, suddenly, my friend, shut up your mouth, John. Are you not the same person who was telling us to vote for APC? Frustration Nigeria ti baye yin je to yen ni. I'm saying all of this from experience. So people go just say, who be this one? Say Maiyegun diary. Na Yoruba guy. This one na Yoruba. My friend, shut up your mouth, John. Are you not the Yoruba people that said we should vote for Buhari? I say, Amy, look at my face very well. So people would now say, my friend, get out of here, John. Don't you know Maiyegun? Maiyegun is not technical. I mean, see, people have to come and defend me. When the shege started, under APC, they started accusing everybody. You know what I mean? The APC, Egbekegbe member on their own, those ones started accusing me of, Shebi, is that not your prayer before? Is that not your prayer? No, this Maiyegun. Let us just remember that we all of us, we have a case to answer at any case to God. Some of you will not see God. If you die like that, you don't go see God at all. No case for you. Now straight to hell. They said, you this Maiyegun, instead of you to join us to pray for Buhari to succeed, you are always criticizing. Not be me you call enemy of progress before. When I tell you, say, Emma no last in you. Iyamaje pasa sin lara. Now una go chop your yao. Shut up your mouth. God is bigger than you, Maiyegun. God is going to shake. When the shege started, they started accusing me. Are you not the Yoruba? Are you not a Yoruba person? Are you not the Yorubas that say that the APC is? Are you not the Yoruba story or long time? I want people in worry by it to your long. I coped. Now, una don't start your what if again. But Maiyegun, but Shashugon because of right, Maiyegun, what if? I know that he spent a lot of money. I know that he's a corrupt, but what if we kill you, dear? Now, so that they tell me what if that time. Later, then change what if to what about. That was when I started I coined the word whataboutism. I don't coin word though. If to say I write all my things down, Baba, I go get. I feel kind of like I feel published the best-selling book that comes to political terminologies and all of that. I don't make up things, just a drop like that. I said, Nigerians and their whataboutism. When you catch them red-handed, they will tell you, but what about that one? Maiyegun, say, Boko Haram don't kill 14 people for Sokoto. hey, Buhari, you could suppose go ICC. They suppose jail Buhari. The same Nigerians will now say, but Maiyegun, it's not that I'm supporting Buhari. It's not because I'm supporting APC. But what about Maiyegun? What about the one that happened in Cameroon? Why don't you talk about that one in Cameroon too? Shebi Boko Haram kill people in Cameroon 2 days ago. You, Maiyegun, what about Cameroon? I said, Shili in Shire, ni kini timi ati Cameroon. What concern me with Cameroon to your law? Maiyegun, you are too biased. Let us be honest, and when we are doing our report, I don't like Buhari. In fact, I don't like APC. But Maiyegun, what about Cameroon? What about Cameroon? Okay, what about Cameroon? Sure, you get. When I don't start your what if now, and I hear a good day. Before, look at me very well. Before when the whole thing begin, they shock everybody. They can't look for who to blame. Who to blame? Who should we blame this morning? Who should we say is the problem of Nigeria today? Oh, that's this guy again. I'm just saying it. Because if I see, I go talk. Do you understand? So before I take you to something again. So if you have these poor people, they are product of poor decisions, poor and corrupt political policy decisions, so to say. And there are consequences. Now, wait till me at one point out that there are consequences, so that you never become the victim. Let me say you go escape them all. But for those who went to Sudan, so Air Peace left Nigeria finally, and like I said, 376 of them have been airlifted back to Nigeria, and they are back, I believe, to their families. Others still they road, still they border. It has been the longest journey, Sudan to Nigeria, in history. It's been the longest journey, but it is not how far, but how well. So let's leave all the other drama when Air Peace received the signal, including Nigeria Air Force jets like that. When they received the signal that want to she border, everybody they come, Air Peace like this. So Air Peace, Egypt, Nigeria Air Force, aircraft, something like that, right? It's like a passenger. It's like a cargo aircraft, right? Cargo plane. That too went, and on their return, but while they were like flying down, the people, the survivors who made it to that small airport that they provided for them, not Cairo, right? They started lining up the tarmac, waiting to board like this. mostly students and all that. And then immediately the aircraft landed. The ones that were caught on the airpiece, this one were able to sit like a normal passenger, passenger plane. They were comfortable. Others, I didn't bring that clip anyway, but they are like, in that kind of cargo plane where everything is like rope like this. So you just have to like sit back and you hold the rope like that. That one you see in the movie. Don't pretend. It's not like this one. That's herpes. Anyway, we hope that not hope this time. We pray that those who are still left are probably lifted to Nigeria. So from the report, each person that made it back to Nigeria in Abuja was given 100,000 naira each, 25,000 naira credits on their phone to make calls and all that, 1.5 gigabyte data for internet connections and all that. All of these were listed as part of what was given to them. And I don't know if if Abike mentioned it herself. Do you know what I remember? I remember that people have changed Abike's name to, we call him Abike Dagboru here. They don't change them to Abiku. Abiku Dagboru, na typography error, typographic error. Or Abike don't turn to Abiku, it no matter. Here is Abike Dagboru upon return of these Nigerians from Sudan. We're going to go to the next one soon.
Because Egypt makes it difficult. Egypt says if the number of people you brought is less than 200 and the aircraft can only take 150, then nobody will leave. So they want you to pick the exact number of people that you're bringing to the border. So rather than more planes, if 4 planes go at the same time, you bring everybody. So NEMA has assured that they've done that, and that's for Egypt. And the Port Sudan did. They're trying to get tickets because it's even more difficult to get flights to Port Sudan, but they have an airline. So they're processing them now, get them tickets, and come back home. And if other airlines get the landing permit, they'll okay this. So at least they're coming back home, and nobody will. We're glad nobody's life has been lost, and priority was given to students, women, and children. So let's just set our eyes on it. Planes are heading there. All that never says planes are already. All planes will be heading there.
Very poor quality. Should I say, poor audio quality. Anyway, that was us saying that the coast is clear. Now they've got the Egypt clearance, and now they are looking for more airlines that are going to pick up the challenge and then to help them evacuate so they can buy tickets. And anyway, so let's at least on this part, at least tell them, say, then do well so far. On this one, no, sure you get. Because if your family member was one of those people, you're not going to feel like others are feeling about their failure. The first thing you're going to be happy about is that finally they got your family member back to Nigeria, and then you can go back to the scenarios that actually like led to all of that, and then you can still take your position. Failure. Abike, you are a failure. Yes, you can still do that. But internet, you're not going to feel like that if a member of your family is one of those that has just been brought back. And if your family member is still there in Sudan, see calling us, they don't abandon also, they don't carry also. Of course, you'll be raging. All this will mean nothing to you. And in my own book, now all of them are they right. Now, see, if you are angry with them, you are right. If you feel like they have, at least they've done this one, you are also right. In my book, because if you check very well, Now everybody go get their reason this time around based on what is what connects them to this whole thing. Or if to say now all of us generally maybe say we will not like them at all at all. You're also right. It's a total failure, disaster. I agree with you. But you see, person in family don't land there, it won't really agree with you. At least not tonight. Tomorrow, everybody will resume again. Oh, Buhari, you are a criminal. Buhari, you are a failure. APC, this. But the moment their family just came back in, right? It's different. They will say thank you, even to their enemy. That is something that is a little bit rare. Hasn't really showed up lately. You know, like you'll be like, about now, Nigerian politicians, they are crooks, they are criminals, they think they are smart, they can't be caught. So if one of them is caught somewhere, hello, you would expect some level of camaraderie, or what do they call them? Camaraderie. I mean, not camaraderie. Oh, anyway, this friendship, this whatever, that at least to show off support, or you can call it esprit de corps. Esprit de corps means even if we pretend to be wearing different uniform, but when I say esprit de corps, you say it back. I know say we be paddy. So that was what we expected. That was what some people expected when Ekweremadu entered the trap of the UK judicial system, the crown. Like UK is corrupt. Nigeria is their friend. What is all this? In the next they are going to send him back home. I think that he won't repay until when they saw that they have prepared Ekweremadu's prison cloth, the prison pajamas, the one we ain't gonna wear when during the summer, the prison the prison hoodie, the prison jumper, the one that had like a tama wear. They don't measure them. But it seems to be too late, or maybe not. It seems to be late, maybe not too late. The man that duped his client in Georgia, in America, that later became the prominent politician under a man that forfeited $460,000 because of drug trafficking in Chicago, in America. This man who ran away from Georgia turned to the Tifnumbu's political academy, and he became the speaker in Nigeria, Gbajabiamole, Esquire, Honorable Chief Gbajabiamole. It's like, Abba, the death with they kill our mate. Now signing they signed all that. Should I say now messaging they sent to you to also say about how many of your mates left now? Say una still plenty. 11. No, hang on. 12, 13. About you are lucky. 20 of your mates are still alive. At this age, Baba, man, lucky you. Say, shut up, my son. Now 20 don't die. I just try remember the one we die. Because the people will remain. But I say, now me and that other one. They say, okay. Are you there? So you could talk about Juba because now it's a matter of time. You know that kind of thing. You go sit down like this and say, it's a matter of time. So the likes of Gbajabiamole and co, whatever they have done diplomatically behind the scene, they didn't work. And before he becomes a former speaker of House of Representatives and possibly the chief of staff to Tifnumbu, who is going to be a de facto president of Nigeria. You know, if Tifnumbu announced Gbajabiamole as his chief of staff, so Gbajabiamole is going to be your new Abba Kyari, and Tifnumbu will be the Buhari Pro Max. So, Gbajabiamole will be the one that will have all the presidential clout and all of that, usually behind the scene, but I'm not sure if he's going to be behind the scene. So before he dropped the gavel, he sent a plea to the UK Crown. Expirate the call from Abuja. The Crown, please. Dakumbiko, sorry. Sonu, sorry. Dakumbiko, sorry. And not the rest of that, yeah? Whatever. Listen to this. It's a long talk, but I decided I'm going to put it here because at least he's making an appeal on behalf of their colleague, a Nigerian, former Senate President, former Deputy Senate President. And if nobody say this Yawa gas, it will probably be the governor-elect of Enugu State right now. UK, I beg, please, it don't learn. Because Ekwere Madu is standing trial for organ trafficking crime with his wife when they brought a supposed donor, a suitor, that would donate one of his kidney for their daughter. And he got here and he said, they said, is not a match. Sensing that they were going to send him back to Nigeria, the young donor ran into a police station, reported himself, reported Ekwere Madu. They waited for them to come back here. On the day they arrived at the Heathrow from Abuja, now this time around, to come and walk around on how to take their daughter to Turkey. Because the guy they brought to UK, they said his kidney is not compatible. Or should we say, he wasn't mentally counseled or prepared that he was going to give his kidney. Sure you get. So they were coming to the UK. And on the arrival, they picked up Ekwere Madu. It was like a joke. But when the whole story started unraveling, as we are watching this video right now, Ekwere Madu is just counting days. They have already been convicted. They've been found guilty. They have been found guilty of organ and human trafficking crime. In the UK, there are some crimes that are not forgivable, especially if you don't go public like this. Or maybe there will be some exception. Now that they said that Ekwere Madu have learned his lesson. They never removed the kidney. Some people in Nigeria, some were in Nigeria. They said, this whole thing is even so shocking. They never even remove kidney. They won't come send Ekwere Madu to go jail. They don't need to remove the kidney. No be until when they remove your kidney, they go send that they're guilty. Baba, but here is Bajabia Mole pleading. Ejo, please. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm going to use the opportunity to speak directly to the Crown and the British courts and judicial system, not in a bid to absolve our former Senate President for any offenses he may have committed, but to plead for clemency. I believe it behoves on any government and any country, wherever their citizens are distressed or found in situations such as this, not in a bid to establish their innocence, but in a bid to plead for their clemency, that such a country or government should intervene. We have seen it times without number by even the most advanced democracies in the world. Recently, an American citizen, a famed basketballer, Britner, was caught and arrested by the Russian authorities. The crime was established, but the US government did not relent for a day until her release was secured. And for that reason, I will, on behalf of the House of Representatives, also speak to the British judicial system and the courts. Now, for as long as I have known Ekwere Madu, he has been a brilliant lawyer, a distinguished public servant, and a dedicated family man. Over the course of 2 decades, of shared service in the national legislature, he has become a dear friend of mine and a trusted colleague. For these reasons, his arrest by authorities in the United Kingdom on charges of conspiring to arrange the travel of another Nigerian citizen to harvest his organs was a terrible shock. These revelations are a far departure from the character of the man as I have known him, and fall far short of the standards of behavior expected from a man of his standing. All that has come to light since his arrest has been deplorable and deeply unpleasant. I am grateful and thankful that Honorable Toby has laid the foundation and the circumstances upon which this act was committed. The intention is what is important. The man walked willingly to the embassy to declare his intent of what he was going to do, not being fully seized of the requirements of the British legal system. For 24 years, since the return to democratic governments in Nigeria, Ike Ekweremadu has served the people of his community, his state, and his country with vigor and dedication. For most of that time, he has been a member of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And during that time, he has used his office to advance the cause of democracy, champion critical reforms, and advocate for the development of his constituency. Through his Ikioha Foundation, of which he discussed severally with me, he and his wife have helped provide access to quality education and healthcare for thousands of people in his community and his state. Their public service and private philanthropy have helped improve the social, economic, and political fortunes of their communities and aided the personal and professional progress of many. Now, none of this suggests that either Ekweremadu or his wife should be above the law or held to a different standard than any other citizen. I recount these things only to present a whole perspective so that this moment of consequence, the judgment of the court, may take into consideration the Ekweremadu's history of honorable living and distinguished service, their contributions to a better world, and the possibility that, given a chance, through the penitence of service, both Ike and his wife can yet atone for their failings and find forgiveness before God and man. The welfare of two young Nigerians lies at the heart of this case. And I hope that after all this is done, Mr. David Nwamini, the complaining witness, will go on to a long and productive life, free from the trauma of his recent travails. For Miss Sonia Ekweremadu, Ike's young daughter, whose well-being necessitated the unfortunate actions that have now led to these terrible consequences for all involved, the nightmare of a dangerous diagnosis is compounded beyond measure by the real possibility that the two most responsible for her care may shortly be committed to terms of punishment from which they will be unable to offer even a loving embrace when nothing else will do. Surely, it is within our means to live under the law and be just and merciful at the same time. I urge the court to consider.
You don't want to listen to him anymore. Remove him. Maiyegun, get this guy out of here. I know. I have done just that. But I actually wanted you to see that they took time to write what is expected to read as, pleading on behalf of Ekweremadu. They're probating, going back and forth and all of that. He built schools, he paid people school fees and blah, 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 the blah, the blah, the blah. How come they don't build hospital for that in community? That he had to put his daughter on a 6 hours flight to over 6,000 miles away so that they could use the medical facility in a far land. Bajabia Mole, Yusuf go jail. Your convoy killed a vendor because you are inside rushing, Abi, your convoy. One of your security men in your cover killed the vendor in Abuja. Today, we don't hear anything about that anymore. Sure, you get. Although criminals take bad job in Nigeria, and you are very much, you should get yourselves ready. In Abeokuta, Tunji Akeosi, Tabi Akeosi. Tunji is an APC member, House of Rep elect, I heard. And then he also did a hit and run in Abeokuta. Today. It's somebody got the runaway. People chased him. He assaulted them. Now, rep electo is not yet a rep member. Criminals stick by job and
if nobody else knows you here, I know you very well. I know you very well. You are. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. You are a House of Assembly. You are a House of Rep member. You are stupid. You are foolish. You are foolish. You have no woman feelings, Oga.
Somebody is upping something. You guys were not here. I didn't even know. That's why I'm saying he's pretending.
What do you mean by he's pretending? What do you mean by he's pretending, Oga? What do you mean by he's pretending? You are a human being like him. You are a human being like him. What do you mean by he's pretending? What do you mean by he's pretending? What he's telling me is that this
is I'm going to injure you.
Can you
They never swear for Amo. They go swear for Am next month. Emo, you go see Shake Day. And you have to just learn how to live with that, I think. Yeah, you just have to learn how to live with that. Like you did with Buhari. You eat somebody with your car, eat and run. You ran away, they chased you, they caught up with you. Why did you run? You said, I thought he was pretending that something, I thought nothing happened to him, that he was just pretending. A lawmaker, a lawbreaker. He eat somebody, eat and run. You know, you go stay there. Eat and run alone. Now jail time, they play with, Abi. If you hit anybody for UK, you hit somebody, and you run away. Hey, you don't finish yourself, you have finished your life. You must have so much money for you not to go to jail. Eh? Attempted murder. You go to see charges. Now you go to see jail for far like a Kure Madu. Because you know that kind of thing, say your pastor goes to you and say, see my eyes that is paining me. A lawmaker in Nigeria said he thought the person was pretending. Ogbanyo, alone pretend. And there you are. Some people said, what is wrong with that lady? That lady is very rude. How can she be talking can she talk to her husband like that? Yes, I'm not saying that what that man did is good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look at that lady. She's very rude. And there are many in Nigeria. They blame the victim. Say, hey, what don't hit me? My leg is broken. Some will be like, what happened to you? They saw you when the car hit you. What happened? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I cannot walk again. I cannot walk. Are you blind? Didn't you see that car is coming? I mean, what is all of this again? Is the leg broken? Can you try and walk? Let's try and see if you can walk. Next time, you too, sir, you should be watching, looking at the road. All these drivers, some of them, they don't care. When you are going, right there, instead of people to say, hey, where the driver? He don't run. Hey, hello, police. See, I want to report it and run. A car just hit, no. Nigeria, they go blame you. Others go say, you know something. If you don't go offend somebody the way they don't talk, I'm not to go kill them. See, my sister, this life is we need to be very careful. Abina, look, she was standing there. All of us are standing here. And the car just came from there. And it didn't come for all of us here. It just went for her. If you don't offend somebody for our street, the way I'm looking at her, if it be somebody who be say she gets sharp mouth. Nah, hand of devil people say me the devil. I know what happened to her. My sister, let's just watch our mouth. That thing we they do, they won't kill her. But now the spirit of his mama, no one makes she die. That is why that thing just break her leg. Say, no wonder. Even Mr. Sir, sorry, what's your name, sir? Call me Prophet Joshua. Oh, you're a professor now. Now. Me too, I was wondering. I mean, that's a new car, very new car. It lost brake. We don't understand. Now, I said, devil. A country that is so badly governed, so terribly governed, that people turn to what you can call a sort of I mean, what came to my mind is it's not that nice. Like a mental state, it's a mental, a sort of degenerated mental health problem. Sure, you get where people are now living on superstition, because that's the only way they can actually explain some of the things that are happening around them. Some of them, if you witness them, they will think you are mad with the way you'll be reacting. What is all this now? Hey, cover your eyes. Wait up. If there's not dead body, the road. Hey, see dead body on the road. That's the dead body. You don't swallow, no. You go see dead body. They on there like 3 days or 4 days in the middle of the road. This thing, see, my brother, you will see some of them will tell you about this body go bust by tomorrow. You don't stay there for 3 days now. Say, dead body on the streets. See, government, not government. Anytime I get there, I just wind up my glass. It's been there for 3 days. We are hoping that they will come and carry the dead body before the thing busts for road. When you begin to act to some things you are seeing in Nigeria, they will say you are mad. Ogbeni, are you sure say nobody they don't give you one gesture for that you're London? Why you come out like say you did? It don't mean anything. Dead body on the road don't mean anything. I don't mean anything, Jare. Now Nigeria be this one. They feel normal to your law. Are you with me? So I mean, it can be that bad that people can be like pretentious, and then they're like creating the alternative whatever, and then you will just be like, man, this is a mad asylum, a mad place. It is what it is, some would say. But I am going to draw my own curtains there because I actually want to take calls tonight. I still have about 3 stuffs I want to share with you. But the ideal thing is we'll let it let's put it aside. And then I can speak to people. So if you are still watching this, where we have over 2,000 of us on YouTube, and we have over, how many, 12 of us on the TikTok, as well as nearly 250 of us on Facebook, is mental. Those who manage to get on to watch the broadcast on Facebook, you are the goat. Seriously. You can't even share. Some of you can share it. Some of you can like it. Facebook now mad. That's Mark Zuckerberg. Go on to YouTube. It's quite good there. I'm building something on the Rumble as well. And I'm also building something as well on the another social media platform that are completely independent and quite more kind of relaxed. But you won't know much of them if you don't have a chance of listening to Maiyegun every now and then. So yeah, subscribe to my channel when you can. And then when that time comes, you will be one of those to know. So like the broadcast to show that you are here. And when I get back now, I will take 1 or 2 calls. Remember.
Today, I want to declare without equivocation. Today, I want...
Country, 70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Is that you? Country,
years old man. Is that you?
Jesus is Lord.
Is that you? 70 years old man.
There go my husband house. Hello there.
Hello, my brother. Maiyegun, how are you doing?
I am very well, sir. How are you?
I'm okay.
Thank you.
Brother, looking to go on at this kind of wahala waiting for Nigeria, and I wasn't tired maybe that too.
You better don't let them to tire you, Baba. You go have to use some.
They worry me, I don't go lie for you. You know, this thing there like a war between the bad guys and the good guys. I don't know whether you understand what they talk.
I do.
There's a political.
Sometimes
there's a political war
between the darkness and the light. Depends on which narrative goes well for you. Yeah, go on, Baba.
The narrative where they go well for me, they say there is a very big political war for Nigeria between the bad guys and the good guys. And definitely, my prediction be said the good guys is going to win the bad guys, but it's going to take time.
It's going to take time. That's quite encouraging.
It's going to take time, and then, like I said before, I'm still repeating myself so that you will put them for a diary.
Yes, sir.
That the P2P will be the president. What in be name?
Tinubu.
No, Tinubu. They're not going to swear them in. They're not going to swear Kolu in.
Right.
Mark my word, they're not going to swear Kolu in. I will be go take over.
Because that's the wish of so many. And I wish I have that same tongue like yours to say it no go happen and then it no go happen.
It no go happen. Not the only president, he go still collect Lagos State from your hand.
Yeah. So it's part of the drama
we should look forward to. Just to mark my words, so that when it go happen, it will not say I tell you.
Special program. You know where I go there? I say that man when they talk, they look for you. You go even try call me that night.
I dey Paris. I dey tell you what will happen. It was not easy for the children of Israel to leave the land of Egypt. Right. It was a very big fight. You understand?
That's right.
So at the end of the next, you understand?
Okay.
So now what in
we are counting the days, and then it's just been like forever. I wish it's close by. That something that will happen should happen. Just prior to that, but I wish we could see that better.
Now my contribution be that it's a big fight between the bad guys and the good guys.
Bless you. Thank you very much. So I'll take another one. Here. Hello, sir.
Yeah, Maiyegun.
Yes, sir. How are you?
How are you?
I am very well. Thanks for asking. And yourself?
Yes. I'm okay, my brother. I've been listening to you.
Thank you.
I mean, kata don't fall everywhere.
It's almost exploding.
Exploding, but don't worry. We'll get there eventually.
Amen.
And that is very optimistic. Today we're going to have some few thoughts. You see what happened, you never talk about the demolition that Lagos, this government, this, whatever you call them, Kolu, Tinubu government, but if it happens, that would be the worst thing ever happen to Nigeria. Do you realize that I think that was last week or a couple of days ago, that they start to demolish people's houses in Lagos, along Lagos. And that was I
spoke on that yesterday. I even shared clips on that, if you remember.
Exactly.
But yeah, I would like you to speak more, please.
And that is a sign. This is a sign. They are telling you now. This government is telling you now. Watch. This is what we're gonna do to you.
Yes.
We are coming. That is a sign that this is what they're gonna do to you. Because they know you are the guys who live in that area, because at the end of the day, that land, those people built houses. If it was an illegal land, why did they allow them to do it in the initial place? Why would they allow them to do it? But now they realize that most of those houses, go and take statistics. I guarantee you 120% that most of those houses belongs to the Igbos.
Well, we actually saw majority of them, and no, that's a statement of fact. The reason why we can't use absoluteness is because we are not 100% sure that they will be 100% Igbos, right? But the thing here is this: it is a fact that majority of the homeowners in that part and those who lost their houses, they are mostly Igbos. At least that's a fact. Go on, sir.
Yes, I'm thinking about when they inaugurate this government. Just this is a symptom or sign what will happen when they inaugurate this government. All these Agro boys, Lomo boys who will be coming to Igbo traders collecting daily regime of money. If you don't pay, you don't open your shop.
You leave.
You leave.
And there will be nobody to protect because them. Scary.
And who is going to cry to? All right? The reason all this nonsense is, let me tell you, people don't understand. Yeah, people don't understand. This man is smiling because what people believe is in a vengeance. He's going to retaliate. There is no two ways about it. And they're all for it. They're all praying how they can get in there. But what it doesn't understand that I told you some time ago, Buhari went for parade, for military parade.
Yep.
The way they had a military parade that Buhari went on a ceremony for military parade just about a couple of days ago. And that was the situation to alert the army, because what they're doing now, they want to mobilize the military to get ready. But what they don't understand, that the military itself is not together.
It's divided.
The military itself, that is disarray. They're not happy. The military, the other ranks in the military, the government has not favored them. So there is a tendency for what they're expecting now, that because that is the only plan. The only reason, like I said, the only reason APC, whatever they're doing, Tinubu is going nowhere. It will be there on the 29th, it will be there on the 28th, because the Fulanis control the security apparatus of Nigeria. They control the army, like I said before, they control the military, they control the navy, and they control the DSS, they control the police. So if anything happens, they will unleash them to the street to go and kill people. That's the only thing they do. But what they don't understand, the obedient is more powerful than the Nigerian military. Quote me right.
Oh, well,
and if obedient,
the army can be more powerful than the citizen, especially if they choose to rise. We have seen it.
I'm telling you, and what Tinubu don't get it. He can travel to Port Harcourt, he can travel to wherever, but he doesn't get it. He is delusional. He is deluded. There's something wrong with him. It's his mental state. He needs to check himself. What he doesn't understand, that the cause of what is happening in Nigeria today is no longer an Igbo cause.
Yeah.
It's just because of completely people are fed up of the situation of things, and they want a new Nigerian. Yeah. So whatever happened, I don't know how Tinubu would think that somebody who is an illegitimate.
Do you know something, right? Do you know something that I forgot to add to my own part of presentation, which was to actually come as an advice, right? And I'm glad that you are mentioning that. Those who are on the side of Tinubu and co, they love to continue to lie to themselves that Peter Obi and those who are supporting him are Igbos. They know it's not true. Now, because they are like pretending to gaslight the Igbos, ignoring the fact that there are more Yorubas, there are more non-Igbos who are obedient that we have seen than the Igbos themselves in this whole figure, right? So that simply means that targeting the Igbos to see if they will kind of gaslight them to shut up will then stop all the proper criticisms they are facing, then they are wrong. Because the real opposition to government in Nigeria is the people and the social media. So if they are focusing on the OB and Labour Party, thinking they will go away, then they are wrong. Because the real battle is actually with the people, like you pointed out, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Sure, please.
Yeah. So, the mistake is this, that what they don't understand is that they made a mistake. What they asked one of the journalists, he says, I swear, Tinubu won the election.
Yeah.
Obi won. It wasn't the Igbos that made Obi to win the election. The election of the Labour Party won was because there are some criteria areas, those states, the Delta State, the Benue State, the Plateau State, some of these Taraba states, the Lagos State. These states originally has never voted for an Igbo man. Has never voted for an Igbo man. So this OB representation wasn't because of OB is an Igbo. Because this state originally has never voted for an Igbo man. But this state voted for Labour Party. Because they wanted a change. And in the irony is that for the Tinubu to stay there and thinking that he can maneuver, bulldoze his way, bully everybody, bulldoze it, do whatever he can do and still come up on the 29th and start looking at Nigeria and say, I will be your president. I think there's something wrong with him.
He's joking.
I'm telling you.
He's joking.
Mentally, there's something wrong with him. Either he's a very, a habitual criminal. Sometimes it seems that when you're a habitual criminal, you think that you're untouchable. Yeah, that's what you think. But what he doesn't understand, he doesn't understand. And I guarantee you now, I'm telling you that whatever might be the case, the crisis, let them not make a good judgment before 29. That the crisis will organically erupt.
Thank you so much. Let me take another one, sir. Because of our time, we're going to have to do them like short as well. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody who is tuning in to be part of this. I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, one name.
Hey, Yosita, one name.
Yeah.
How are you, Baba?
Yeah, I'm good.
Brilliant.
I'm good.
So you are joining us again tonight, and that's you. Osita, please.
I will always be there with you. Anywhere you go, I'll go.
Thank you. Trust you.
Yeah. Anyway, there's something I really want us to look at before any other thing. You saw the pictures of the videos of the people who were coming from Sudan, right?
That's right.
I am so sorry. We have imported another set of terrorists. We have brought in another set of terrorists. Plus all those things you're looking at, they said, that this thing, they are Nigerians, they are Fulani Nigerians. Most of those people you're seeing are not Nigerians. I bet you, I can tell you that.
Right.
They are not. So we are bringing in more terrorists, and people are thinking that if Buhari leaves, then the new APC government, they can actually curtail security. But we are going to be wrong, because what we are going to see, it is more. I think they said that what money cannot do, much more money can do.
Yes, now.
So what we will see is that, what we will see is that what the terrorists has not been able to accomplish it, more terrorists will accomplish it. That is one. So the number two, the discussion you were having now. Yes, a lot of people might think
A lot. A lot might think that, if the Igbos are being suppressed, that this whole issue of their invalidity will end. But that is not the truth. It is not Igbos that voted to be now. It's never Igbos. The people that voted to be are the masses of Nigerians, those people that have been oppressed. It will always remain on the online, on the internet, the evil that this APC has done. The destruction they've been able to achieve, because that is their only achievement, both economically, both physically, both spiritually, everything. They have actually destroyed everything. And they think, it is going to go away if you gaslight the Igbos. But it's not the truth. I need them to listen to my voice here. Make their reservation their reservation. I will use Israel as example. The problem they are having right now is diaspora. It's diaspora. 95% of diaspora is not in support of what is happening in Nigeria today. And anytime a country wants to either break off or they want to get it right, it will always come from the diaspora. That is something they do not know. I use Israel as a case study. When Israel, in the 1940s, when they decided they want to go back home, they want to take over their land, it wasn't the people who were dwelling in Israel that did that. It was the ones that are dwelling outside Israel, the ones, especially the ones in Europe and America. They are the ones that delivered that state of Israel. And that is the way I am saying to all of us in diaspora, that is the way we are going to deliver that country. It's either we break up that country or the system will completely change.
Or they get it right.
That is one thing I promise them. Thank you very much, my brother.
Bless you, Sita. As usual, straight to it, and then this time around there is no dilly-dallying and all that. So thank you very much for that. So to my friends still watching on YouTube, thank you. You have been very consistent, except for one thing, where majority just feel like, that's so much to go there and just put on the like, right? So I have another caller here. Hang on. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun. Good evening.
Hey, hello, dear sister. How are you, ma?
I'm good. How are you doing, sir? How's the family?
Well, we thank God. Thanks for asking. How are yours? I mean, how is your family too, by the way?
Good. I was going to what you said today about the evacuation plan in Sudan. I think these are the comments. I disagree with you on the fact that they tried.
Yeah,
it is this level of mediocrity we have tolerated as a nation for 63 years.
That's right.
It is this level of mediocrity. And one of the reasons I follow your platform is you speak truth to power. They didn't do nothing, Maiyegun. They did nothing. First things first, Maiyegun, how does a country not have data of its citizens in another country? The country where I live, when the press, the minister came out and said they had 1,600 citizens registered in their data. Already they knew the number of people there. And they came out and said, if you are not registered because some people may have come in, please go to so and what. Critics, tell them, I'm in Sudan. We said for me in there out, and we say they tried. No. How does the Nigerian airport have only one cargo aircraft? You cannot, let's call a spade a spade. This is what we have.
It's a disaster.
Is very disaster, is mediocre. We should not settle for this. We should call it what it is. And Maiyegun, please continue to speak truth to power. It was horrible. It was selfish. It is not. They didn't do nothing.
It's a total disaster. I mean, we are okay. I get that. And then, like you said,
don't celebrate mediocrity. Don't celebrate. You say this is what it is. It is horrible. It is wrong. We shouldn't celebrate anybody. $1.2 million is no chump change. It is no chump change. Nigeria is too wealthy for such to abandon its citizens, whether they are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, whatever tribe they are. We are too wealthy for that sort of mediocre exercise we just performed in Sudan. And also, Meg, I was going to talk about this.
Yes, ma'am,
so,
please.
Why this election was such a hurtful process is because the United Arab, I always look at the United Arab Emirates as a typical example of a modern country over the last 40 years that one man's vision can change the future of an entire nation. That is why if you have good leadership,
right people,
the future of your country is going to propel us to miles and miles of good things. If the United Arab Emirates, that leader, that man didn't come to picture to say we can do better. It was the vision of that man. I can't remember his name. Was his vision, because United Arab Emirates used to be like Nigeria, but his vision, one man's vision, pushed every other person. It's like when you tell you things are from your head.
I think I missed all of that. Okay, you're back. Go on, please.
If the leadership is bad, you cannot. Nothing else can work.
Nothing. Why is the network acting up that way? And I'm actually enjoying this. Yes, ma'am, you're back. Please, go on.
This leader. And this is for the
no, something is so terribly wrong.
Advancing AI to different sort of technologies that people have vision try to rationalize this whole thing. And it does, like, if we don't get that chip role correct, okay, look how weak look at what he's doing. Lagos State, I was saying to someone, Lagos State is almost a modern state. It was almost developing at the same pace Dubai was. Dubai is also a state in the United Arab Emirates. Can you come to Dubai and Lagos State? So this is the mediocrity we're talking about. As a nation, we celebrate mediocrity. Dubai and Lagos were almost on the same pace. Can you compare those locations?
They are no longer even near, not close.
You cannot. And it's leadership.
It's due to leadership. I agree with you 100%, my lady, right? So the context of me saying that we are happy that they brought them back is not actually to eulogize them or praise them. Do you get that? It was to say that after the whole mess, this one's the first batch have arrived back in at all. I get where you're coming from, 100%. I do.
But that's their job, though. We are celebrating somebody for doing his job.
I know.
I don't know what are we celebrating for doing their job. Somebody is getting paid for that.
Even being done so badly as well. It's not even like being done their job another. No, it's like being done so terribly bad, and people's life is what we are actually talking about here. So I get you.
Yes, sir. We're talking with Madu.
Yes.
He has committed a crime.
Yes.
Let him be imprisoned. Begging the government of the UK for. I can't remember the country right now. I think it's either Hong Kong or Singapore. Right. I hear one of the things they do to children, which may be a traumatic experience, but for me it's good. Is part of what they do sometimes is take kids to their prisons and show them ex-leaders that have committed crime and said, if you commit crime, this is where you're going to be. From a very young age, they are being taught that crime does not pay. They show them, not just say, they physically see it. These are the systems we're talking about. We shouldn't, Ekwemadu should pay the time. He should. Such that people will know that in the future, it doesn't matter whether you're a multi-billionaire, whether you are somebody walking on the streets of Lagos, you will pay for your crime.
You break the law.
And it's an example. Yeah, if you break the law, and it takes example to every other person. So what are we? This is what we're talking about: leadership, choosing the right people, the right position, and we understand that this is very important for the future of the nation.
It does.
This is very important. We're going to continue to be where we are. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much for that. I think I needed that voice tonight, and you just delivered like sparkly. So thank you, ma'am, for that. So I'll take another one. So no praises. Maiyegun, don't make that mistake again by saying that they try. Try waiting.
Thank you, ma'am, for
I get that.
So I'll take another
Hi there.
one.
Hello. Oh, somebody we just called in somehow probably didn't believe that they've connected, and it's not the first time anyway. So thank you very much to every one of you who has been part of this. I am thinking, okay, I'll take one or two calls again. Okay, then we can call it a night. We didn't start early enough. Hello there.
Yes, sir, Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes, sir. How are you, Baba?
How do you do?
Well, very well. How do you do? I mean, okay. Or you both say, how do you do? You say, fine. No, that's wrong. You say, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? Baba, how do you do?
You know, how do you do? How do you do is the former stuff. It's like a former.
You remember those times now? Those literally English can do this thing. When you say, how do you do? I say, fine. I say, no, that is wrong. You will say, how do you do? How do you do? Like that, you know. But it's good to hear that again. Or you just took me back to that my primary school memory time. But I'm very well, Baba. So how do you do? How you do, Baba?
Yeah. So thanks for everything, Gary. That you've been exposing and enlightening people, every one of us here.
Thanks, man.
But there's something I want to say today quickly. It might be a little bit from what every presentation that we did today. I don't know if you saw that video of Bajati Mole. That it's clamoring for clemency for
a spirit decor. Like whatever happened, just remember there is a big man in Nigeria. Please send him to us. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I put a comment on, and I was like, okay, so because it's a big man, right? But that's not what I'm going. I'm not going to waste your time.
Come on, take your time. Go on for it, sir. Please.
The point. He said, Russia and the United States. Brittany Grant, that guy, do the swap. The swap. That would.
I don't know what happened to the line, Baba. This thing is breaking. Like it's like somehow. I don't know. Do you mind? Maybe you should. Or are you working? Okay. Kind of. I don't know.
Oh, it's still breaking, right?
Well, I think it's all right now. I can hear that part very clearly, Baba. So continue. You were saying something about Russia. Okay. That he said something about Russia and United States swapping citizen. Yeah, please. I wanted to hear that part.
Yes.
Go on, sir.
Yes. So recently they did that. They swap that young lady that got arrested in exchange for a criminal who I think he's a ham seller, like he sell ammunition and kill people like that. I'm dealer, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now my point there is that you are comparing death with sickness and people let me put it that way. Because see, you are not saying that what UK people should try to seek for clemency for Equatorial. Now, you see, on the international scene, when you look at Nigerian leaders, I think they don't know that they are jokers. People are laughing at them. They don't even know that they are jokers. They don't know, nobody will recognize them or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, what do we even have in Nigeria? Somebody was saying something the other day. This man used to say, Professor Lumumba used to say something, that Africa is weak. We didn't produce anything. There's one that we have.
We just consume.
So, If anything should happen, everything that we use, we import it. You know what I'm saying? So before a country even say, "Oh, I am this or I am that," our resources that we use, that we have, that we can use, weaponize, like as a state, we don't even utilize it well within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only little percentage.
We are just seeking rent on them, sir. Anywhere they see gold, government don't know what to do with them. So they will just say, "Oh yeah, can you drink gold?" They say, "Yes, sir, we are gold company. We drink gold." So yeah, take license, just start drinking. So, if you make money from it, you give us some. Yes. That's how they run Nigeria. Yes. System.
Yes. Yes. You remember, I don't know if you are the one that said something about Libya. I don't know, maybe it is you that said something about Libya. I heard something about Libya.
The media.
That what Libya was trying to, Gaddafi was trying to do that time, that Russia already started it with Saudi Arabia and something like that. I don't know if I heard it from your show or something like that. But my point here is that
there is possibility that you read it somewhere. I have come across different write-ups. Okay. So, that story that the reason why they killed Gaddafi was because he wanted to start trading in gold. And he's going to make some other countries to be trading with him in gold instead of dollars. So they killed him. But like you said, Russia is now leading the BRICS. Some countries called the BRICS, right? They are coming together now to US dollar. I know that too. Well, now they can't actually go and deal with Russia, same way they dealt with Gaddafi. I'm with you. Go on.
Yes. So now, before a country ever will stand out, you have to build your nation.
You do.
Build infrastructures, build everything. Make it develop. Even not even all the way developed, it should be a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Like, talking about Rwanda right now and other African countries, they've even gone far away from Nigeria, where we are right now. So you are comparing now USA, that incident, with what happened to Evacuation. You guys don't even have the integrity at the international scene. For them to even recognize you or even hear you. They can't even hear you guys.
So, sir,
they can't even hear them.
Just imagine like one of the what's that senator in America? Is it Senator McCarthy or so? The former Senate leader or senator in America. Why did I forget his name? It was the speaker during Trump time. Pelosi was the speaker, not Pelosi. The Senate.
Pelosi was speaker during Trump time, yeah.
So anyway, imagine one of the Senate leader in America or former Senate leader in America got arrested in the UK because they wanted to come and do organ transfer for their daughter, and the news reached America that he's been arrested here. And it's going to stand trial here.
Yes.
Imagine that. CNN, all of your media in America. Just imagine that. Then someday, somebody now stand up and say, "I want to send this message to the UK. We are America. We want you to send him back." Your own career, go follow that guy career in America. Your own career that is coming on, that is using your position as for example, right, as the Speaker of United States House of Representatives. And you're not pleading with somebody who took an American, and then he took an American from America to the UK to go and remove his kidney for his daughter. Baba, you don't go return to America that way as a politician anymore. He will return to America as an ex-convict. But in Nigeria, it's a different ballgame.
So you now put on Agbada, you didn't build the nation where supposed to build, 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 where supposed to build
So my screen froze earlier. So I'm going to call it a night. Thank you to everyone. Thank you very much to every one of you who also turned up tonight. Okay. If you just joining us, I'm going to advise you to watch this broadcast from the start again. Okay. That's where I kind of spoke my mind. I took course for just half an hour, not like a full time. But tomorrow I'll do my best to kind of stretch it enough that a lot of people will have a chance of calling in. You can watch the replay of this broadcast tomorrow, or the premiere of this this broadcast in the morning tomorrow as well. Thank you to everyone. You can still let me like the broadcast before you go. Like it, share it, and when I see you next time, it is going. I'm actually thinking we should have People's Parliament tomorrow, or we should have it on Sunday. But I am not going to be live on Saturday. So therefore, tomorrow is cool for us to have something. So you can look forward to that. So thank you for everything. I will see you again when I see you. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun Diary politico. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.